Welcome back to another episode of the Tempest Rising podcast. It's been a couple of weeks since the last episode because I was away for Christmas and the New Year. But if you're in the Limitless Living group, you'll have received a bunch of training videos around preparation for the new year. If you're not, and that's something you're interested in, follow the link that I'm about to put in the comments and now, just there, and join us. Because there's loads of really good stuff about prepping for the new year and making sure that 2020 gets started correctly. So today's episode, the difference is astounding. Now, in 2019, I was lucky enough to be able to go surfing and snowboarding, both of which I have done before, but with less than desirable results. My first experience of surfing wasn't particularly great. I struggled to stand up. I got wiped out by a lot of waves. And I had this nasty habit of nosediving the board. So whenever you get to the top of the wave, if the board nosedives, you go over the top and obviously the wave covers you and it's not all that great. But that's something that became quite a common occurrence when I tried surfing previously. But this year, back in October in Cornwall, I went surfing again and I managed to stand up with relative ease. I even managed to do a little bit of turning, controlling the board, all that kind of stuff. There were very, very few wipeouts, and it was an entirely different experience. And the same can be said for snowboarding. I think it was around 3 years ago, which was the first time I went snowboarding in Italy. I managed to fall so many times that I actually broke my tailbone, and it was really, really painful. And that pain persisted for well over a year, and it still hurts me today if I do certain movements. But this time on Christmas Day, actually, we went snowboarding again in Italy and I managed to stand up with ease. I could make my way down the slope. I did some turning. It was like a complete 180 to the experience that I had last time. So in both of these experiences, something had changed. Now, physically, not a lot has changed for me. I'm a bit stronger than I was, but that's about it. Weight-wise, all that kind of thing, I'm the same. Skill-wise, the same. So the real difference is in the mind, because the way I felt about these situations was different to how I felt previously. So those feelings that I now have allowed me to surf and snowboard more efficiently than I had previously. So my thoughts were different, which meant consequently my feelings were different, which meant the outcome was different, despite the medium and the circumstances being very, very similar, which proves that while external environment matters, nothing is more powerful than your internal environment. And if you can learn to train both, then you've got a recipe for success. And this is something that I was always missing when I played golf. I trained the external world, so the skills, the practicing, all those different things. I trained my physical body, so I was strong enough, flexible enough to generate club head speed, all that kind of stuff. But I wasn't training my internal world, so my ability to deal with my emotions, my mindset, and I was missing it, and it's why I always struggled. Some athletes call it being in a flow state. So it's like being in the moment. It's when things work. There's no overriding thoughts or feelings. Everything is balanced and it works. And I'm not saying there will never be fear or excitement or nerves, because there always is when you do something new or something that you care about. But it's not an all-encompassing fear or nervousness, and it's not overwhelming. It's just something that's there and you can recognize it, but you don't actually fall into it. The problems only come when you actually start to focus on those things. Because I've said it loads of times before, Tony Robbins always says it, that where your focus goes, your energy flows. So if you focus on the bad stuff, then you'll actualize it through your actions. And I'm not talking about law of attraction and all that kind of stuff, because that's a Pandora's box that doesn't need to be opened. But what I want you to understand is that your thoughts and feelings affect your energy and your actions, and those actions will always have a tangible outcome. So I can't overstate enough the importance of training your thoughts and your feelings. And it's always hard to say which causes which, because you get a feeling based off of experience and that influences your thoughts. but you can also think about an experience or have a thought about an experience and trigger feelings. So the two are really closely interwoven. It's kind of like a chicken and egg scenario. Which one comes first? Either way, it doesn't really matter, but both of them are equally important. Training both of those is important, which is why I started the Limitless group. Now, the group itself is growing quite nicely. There's a lot of good ladies in there. There's so much exclusive content. There's stuff added every week, a couple of bits in there. So if you are interested in upgrading your life, it is worth being in there, particularly because on the 20th of January, I'm going to be running a challenge in there based around stress, fear, self-esteem, and confidence. So the Fatal 4 of Chaos. It's going to be a free 5-day challenge designed to help you move away from all those chaos-inducing things and help you start a limitless journey. I'm going to be covering loads of great stuff. I'm going to be giving you real actionable stuff that you can do and follow through with, so that it's not just theory, it's also about action. So if you want in, you can hit the link in the comments, check out the pinned post in the group for more details, and everything you need will be in there. So this is something I'm actually really excited about because I think it's going to be really good. And I hope you're going to join us in that. In the meantime, if there's any stuff on here that you like or whatever, share it with some of your friends. They can join us in the group, because the more people we get in there, the more powerful that community is going to be. So anybody you think might benefit, send them a link and we'll all get in there and we'll do that challenge together. So that's it for today. I will be back next week with another episode. So follow that link, get yourself in the group and join me on the challenge. And if anybody out there works in cameras, photography, and can tell me where the hell I'm supposed to put this light, because it's in my eyes and the lighting is shocking. So if you happen to know anything about lighting, tell me where's the best place to put this light, because I have this ring light and I never put it in the right place and it always looks terrible. So somebody comment and tell me where the hell to put this. But yeah, I'll be back next week, hopefully with some better lighting. Until then, I will see you in the group.